I'm so close to the camera right now. Sorry. Not sorry. Now you can bet your eyelashes with people like this. And try to get things for free. Yeah! I'm so hyper right now, what's wrong with me? Hello, babies! Let's talk about eyelashes. As you can see, I'm quite naked right now because I do not have any on. These are my weak, self-grown eyelashes. So slothful. So we're gonna make them longer, but sometimes eyelashes are a pain in the butt. Tips to make them less of a pain in the butt. Pretty much what you want to do is have a pair of eyelashes ready. You perhaps should have had them ready beforehand, I know. Oh! Where are they all? So, this is my lash of choice. That was an awful accent. They are Eldora B178s. I wear them all the time. Everyone's got a lash style, but my lash style is big and obnoxious, much like my personality. Step 1, take them out of the box. Good job. Okay. Woo! Take these suckers off with a tweezer. With tweezers. Something that will always make your eyelashes uncomfortable is if they don't fit your eyeball. Lay them down on top of your lash line. So you can see, I'm sitting them on the outside corner where I will be sitting them so that I can see how far in they go. It goes really far in to my eye. And that will be very uncomfortable because as the day goes, this will start to poke you and yeah, it'll just be pokey and it'll hurt. So where I usually trim mine is about here, so that they're fully comfortable for me all day long. You don't necessarily have to trim yours this much, but I do because that's where I like mine. Figure your comfort zone out for yourself. Once you know how much you want to trim off, I like to trim off from the outer corner. In this case, they're pretty much symmetrical, so it doesn't matter what side I trim off of. But let's say this side was higher than this side, like the outside was higher than the inside. I would trim from the outside higher end. Because if you get rid of the shorter ones, then it's going to start real long on the inside corner and it's going to look strange. So I'm just going to real scientifically here just chop off a bunch. Let's do it there. Check it. Make sure that works for you. Nope. Better to trim less than you think you need to trim than too much. Because once you trim them, they just don't grow back. Do the same stuff to the other eyelash. Oh, see, this is a phenomena with eyelashes. This is what happens when you trim eyelashes, and if you're not careful and you don't get rid of them, and you find them later in your house, they will look like spider legs. Make sure you throw those out. It's vital to your sanity so that you can continue doing makeup later in your life. Alright, trim the other pair. Oh wait, that's the wrong side. See? Don't just cut all willy-nilly. Scientific. From there on, it's pretty simple. I'm just taking glue. This is the glue that actually comes with Eldora false lashes, and it's my favorite kind of glue. I don't really like Duo lash glue, but to each their own. I feel like Duo is too goopy and it gets gross if my eyes water and then they fall off and I cry. I'm taking that much glue on the end. You don't need all the glue in the world. And then something that is very important that I think a lot of beginners don't think to do, which is why they get frustrated and give up, is they don't wait between putting on the glue and putting it on your eye. You want this glue to get tacky, because if it's all wet, you're gonna have a bad time. And then the other thing that I do to make the application process easier is while it's drying, I bend it. I bend it like this, especially on these inner corners, so that it will just fit better on my eye. Because sometimes they come out and they're too straight and then you can't get the corners to sit down. Once it's starting to turn clear or change color depending on what color glue you have, it's starting to dry and it's time to stick it to it. Oh. You can use tweezers. I usually don't, just because I feel like it makes it harder usually, but tweezers sometimes help. And I just sit it on the outside corner first, and I just, yeah, let's just do it. Sit it down on the outside corner, push it on the inside corner, and that's it, it's on. Pretty simple. Let's do it again. Glue. Plus, this glue is so pretty because it's like iridescent and shit. Duo lash glue ain't iridescent. So pretty. And then, starting with the outside corner, lay it down there, lay it down in the inner corner. Oh. Moo was the first word that came to mind actually when this was done for some reason. And a few other tips while I'm waiting for these to dry as they're sitting on top of my lash, I will squeeze them like so. Squeezing them together will kind of blend my lashes in as close to these lashes as possible. I'm also a mascara before the lashes kind of girl. I know not everybody is, but mine are so blonde that I have to make sure I coat them individually to really cover them first, but you can do mascara afterwards if you'd like. I also think that the lashes stay nicer longer if you're not putting mascara on them, but do what you do. It really is that easy. It just takes some practice. And it also takes some practice to not feel them when you're wearing them, because I know that when you first start wearing them, all you can see and think of and feel are these huge things sitting on top of your eyes, weighing them down, and you feel like you're not even opening your eyes all the way fully. So you just feel them everywhere, but you'll get used to it. And then, last but not least, usually the glue will just dry completely clear like I believe it has today for the most part. But on occasion, depending on the kind of glue you're using, how much you maybe accidentally overdo it, or something like that, you might see the glue after you're all done. And there's a couple ways to fix that. You could either mix your glue with a tiny bit of liquid eyeliner prior to using the glue, and then it'll dry dark. You could use dark eyelash glue, which Duo makes, but I'm not a fan of it because I still don't think it dries dark enough, even though it does dry darker. And then if you miss when you're landing your lash, you'll get black everywhere then that you don't want it, so I'm too clumsy for that one really. What I usually do is I will just take liquid eyeliner. This is Ultra Liner Waterproof Eyeliner by Maybelline, and it is the blackest liner I've ever found in my life. I'll just pull the lash down a little bit and I'll go right over the lash line with the liner to make sure it's as dark as possible. And it's blended in really good. Oh yes. This is how you put on eyelashes, my friend. I'm sorry for all the offensive bad accents today. At least I'm not really offending anyone because my accent is so far from a real accent that no one's even gonna know who I'm making fun of, you know? And then just beyond the general application, some other things that could make them more comfortable for beginner wearers. People beginning to wear eyelashes. You can choose the clear bands over the thick black bands. Let me show you what that means. And if you can see, they have a really thick black band, but they're not always the most comfortable if you're not used to wearing them. So, I would recommend something like this if you are a beginner at wearing them. Do you see how it kind of looks like it skips between the grouping of lashes? That's because there's a clear band on there that's really thin. And these are really good if you want a more natural look for your lashes because then you don't have a thick band across the top, obviously. Like I said, they're generally more comfortable and a little easier to put on because they're less stiff. So if you're having a hard time getting the corners to stick down throughout the day, practice with the invisible bands first, and you'll probably find that they stay on the corners a lot easier since they're more flexible, generally speaking. But I can definitely wear the dark, thick bands throughout the day without any issue, without discomfort, without them coming up in the corners. Like I said, it just takes some practice. Those are some eyelash tips. Yep. Bye, zombies.